Hello folks. So in this video I wanted to talk about some interesting problems and projects, mainly software problems and software projects around the concept of recording. So usually I think people would know video recording, audio recording. Um, so video recording through web camera or even CCTV cameras and whatnot, and audio recording using um, microphones in your computer, microphones in your phone or whatever, right? So what are some interesting software problems and software projects that you can work on around recording? So you can first start off by writing software that records video, records audio, um, and then you can write software that edits, helps people edit audio video recordings, the already recorded audio video recording, right? For example, for DJs, music directors, music composers, music editors, and all, right, or video editors. So here is an example where instead of doing an audio recording or a video recording, just that instead of that, try to do something like recording a text editor. For example, here's a demo. So for example, let's say, okay, I can show you the demo over here also. So here is a recorder which records stuff. Let's say I haven't started recording. Um, so um, I'm going to record now, and then let's start, right? So I'm going to just click here, start recording, and it says recording. Ideally, it should have disabled this. I wrote this software long ago, and so it's a text editor, and it's recording me typing the text on this text editor. So let's say hello. So this is a coding editor, so we have to probably use some coding. So for example, I can use JavaScript in this case, right? If I do some mistakes, it will show it. So if I use JavaScript, it's okay. Fmt.println print is fine, I think. Okay, anyways, this is Golang, that is Golang. But anyway, and then I can pause for some time and just be like, just keep talking for some time, and it would take that pause also. See, I'm just talking for some time now, and it's taking that pause. Finally, I can say, that's it. I'm done. Um, Stop recording now, and then we'll stop the recording here. And then I can type some more stuff, but it won't take it up. This is something that won't be recorded, right? Now you can download the recording. So here I have the recording over here. So it says my recording text. So I created this extension called TextRec, short for text recording. Now to play this recording, you have to actually go to the player. You just say player or player.html. .html works too. Even for recorder, you can say recorder.html or just recorder. So you can find the links here, and so if you go to the, let's go to the player. Oops. Let's go to the player. Let's choose a file now, and this is downloads. So it's going to actually start playing once I click play. So it starts with the whatever I had before, and then now it's going to start playing this. I can also select my stuff over here. I think it's paused, is it? Oh no, it's not. I can still select stuff, and it will still play and do stuff that I've typed. It will still play things. So interestingly, if I actually keep the cursor anywhere else, it will go to the right place and properly type things out. So yeah, and you can also see the pause. So this is actually an example where you're actually recording a text, and let's say you recorded this using say Zoom or screen recorder. For example, I'm using a screen recorder now to record this whole thing, and it's called cap, which is basically KAP, kind of a trick on the word CAP, cap, which is short for capture. So you can capture your screen. We are actually capturing the screen by using video, and it's like a proper video recording of the screen. So you can actually see it is done. So I don't know if the pausing happened in between. I think it didn't happen in between. I'm not sure. I took some time to actually. One moment. Let me choose file. Let me choose file again and play the recording. So while I play this, and I have this recording demo in a separate video over here, right? The thing is, here you're actually recording the text, and if you actually go and see the file, the size of this file, which I just downloaded, the recording, it's pretty small, right? It's like 25 kb or 22 kb, and you can actually see it's simple plain text of what has been done, right? Of what and all changes happened, so that it can just record it. I mean, it can record and keep it in file and then play it later, right? So here you can actually see the pause will be there for some time, for a few seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So I pause for some time and then I'm just saying I'm done and whatnot, right? So yeah, now it just says play the recording again. You can play it again if you want, but I think there's an error over here. Anyways, so the thing is this: we are recording just the text, and there are similar examples of recording just some specific things. For example, recording this project was an inspiration from this website called Scrimba, which is actually a website to help you learn code. So you can actually see that they have an editor of sorts. So here you're not playing a video. So here you can see actually that you can pause and you can actually, so this is actually not just a video, this is actually a video editor along with a video where a background sound is playing and you can see some images in between, in front and whatnot. So you can actually see how you can actually, you know, select this text and all that. And you would have noticed, so here you can see someone actually saying the head is here and whatnot. Uh, and okay, so it's actually branching out from here. You can actually play here. Okay, it's actually not showing some stuff. Let me reset this. And now, yeah. So you can actually see, you can actually hover over this, right? And I've reset it. If you make some change, you actually have to, you can discard or save it and all that. For example, here, let's say I start doing something. You can actually see there's a change over here. I'll just discard it for now. Um, so this is an IDE, which is an integrated development environment, basically a text editor where this shows the files you have and whatnot. And there is also ports that are open and whatnot. And you can change the what's written in these files and whatnot. And the best thing is you can change the code and you can actually see this person talking in audio, talking in the background. And they're also showing some video or images in front, or GIF, right, in front of you, and you can actually go back and forward with this, right? So this is a video of sorts, and it's also an audio with audio in it, and you can actually see a cursor move and all over here. You can just reset here, so you can see the cursor move around. So let me actually start from first. You can actually see the cursor of the the person who's talking, the cursor of the person who is talking move around. So let me actually just go here and show you from the start, and you'll notice that. So this is the one. Welcome to Scrimba. So you'll notice the cursor and all. Just notice it that the cursor's movement and the text being typed, text being highlighted, the cursor moving around in the text editor, and just generally a dot moving around, which is the cursor outside the text editor and whatnot, and the showing of images. All of it is being recorded and played to you, and you can move forward and backward very easily. It's a very interesting thing. From this only I got the text recorder, text editor recorder example, or the text recorder. You can just call it as the text recorder, and you can record text only in a text editor. And you can probably record text even in a terminal. There is a way to record terminals also. I'll show you. So let's look at this for a moment. So for some reason the audio in this doesn't come up. I'm not sure why. It was fine till now. Okay, I can't hear the voice on this now, but I'm not sure why. Um, you can actually see it says autoplay, show captions, playback speed, and all that. And you can actually see this cursor over here and the whole thing moving around. They say how this is a mix of VS Code and YouTube. It's called Scrimba, and how it looks interesting and all that, right? So I don't know why this is maximizing and minimizing and all that. But this is an example, and this is the inspiration that I took from. This is the inspiration that I took from Scrimba. So you can actually see code. This the application of this text recorder or the text editor recorder is that uh, there's a text editor recorder and then text editor player. So the one of the applications is coding tutorials. So coding tutorial instructors using such tools to record and playback the recording for the participants who are learning. Example is Scrimba. The same concept can be generalized to teachers using it to teach coding to students, right? Interview coding rounds. So there are a lot of interviews where, for example, HackerRank and whatnot, where a lot of platforms, interview platforms, coding interview platforms, where code is typed and you can actually look at how the student typed the code in a recording of form, and you can also look at the code that they've written and select through the code and whatnot while playing that thing. Um, it's not just a screen recording and then played, but instead it's then you can go backward and forward, and you can actually change the code and whatnot and look at the code, and any pauses, any copy pastes that happened and everything, right? So how the interviews code evolved from the first line of code. Personally, I don't like this, but yeah, I mean, I don't like this application because it has been like kind of like spying. But yeah, in some cases, it's useful if the person is actually not trustable and you think that they might cheat. In which case, you should ideally just not even test them. So yeah, and inspiration is like, for example, Scrimba is one case, and then there courses show instructor typing code in actual editor, and user can copy the code or even modify it. right? In the same editor and save it separately. And the tutorial can be fast forwarded. One can go back and forward and like pause it too. And then there's an instructor voice in the background, and it has like also video now with GIF and images and whatnot, kind of like a slideshow of sorts. And ASCII Cinema is actually an open source tool. Scrimba is a closed source website for teaching courses. ASCII Cinema is an open source tool for recording and playing terminal sessions. So I'll show you an example. So give me a moment. I'm actually getting some um, static electric shocks. Just a moment. Oops, I'm getting a lot of static electric shocks. So I'm just gonna remove the what do you say charger. Let's see if it still exists. So you can actually see this in play over here. Like for example, if I say ASCII Cinema Cinema and then okay, I think there was some error. I think it needs Python and there is some problem here. Okay, looks like it's not working in the current situation, but I have some, what do you say, I have some examples where, I have some recordings in my YouTube channel. For example, this ASCII Cinema demo, and you can also go to this ASCII Cinema website. So this is an interesting software project, and this is an interesting software, an interesting project for people who want to learn and implement some interesting software. They can do this. For example, this is ASCII Cinema. You can actually select through this. You can record a terminal, and you don't have to actually screen record your, you know, your terminal. You can just record it, and the size of it is pretty small, right? You can also upload the recording to the platform that ASCII Cinema provides, and you can also embed this player and play any ASCII Cinema recording anywhere. So with just the recording file, which is pretty small, and so this is an example of that. Even my website has some of this actually. So you can actually notice this in my blog. In some websites, I've actually done this properly. So for example, building Nginx from source, I think I have an ASCII recording over here, as you can see. So this is an ASCII recording, and this is recorded as ASCII Cinema, and yeah. So you can actually see that you can go forward and backward. You can do a full screen, and you can actually see it more clearly also, right? So it's pretty cool. I wrote this like some 3 years back, I think, so around 2 years back. So yeah, this is recording the terminal, and you can do this kind of recording for any of the applications. Text editor is one. For example, the text editor that I was recording was actually a web application based text editor, so web based text editor. But let's say you have a text editor like Visual Studio Code, you want to, record the Visual Studio codes when you're typing there. Maybe you can create a project in the form of a Visual Studio Code extension, or if you want text-based text editors like Vim or Emacs, and you want to actually record in that, then maybe build plugins or extensions there, or anything. For example, if you have Atom as the text editor, which is an old one, um, and then by GitHub basically, but then now Microsoft bought GitHub, and Microsoft has its own VS Code, Visual Studio Code, and then any text editor and any application. For example, you can record your browser, and you can create an extension in your browser to actually record your browser. anything that you do, for example, moving the cursor, opening tabs, closing tabs, right? So opening tabs, closing tabs, and you can also do stuff like, for example, you can do stuff like, I don't know, be able to stream and share the recording, stream the recording, right, while you're recording it, and share the recording and be able to play it in a browser itself, where the cursor is moving, what it's selecting, and whatnot. And this can be done even in text editors. For example, showing the movement of the cursor and all and everything. And so there are some to-dos that I had for even the text editor recorder. For example, record and play cursor movements when not typing, like moving up and down, left and right with cursor, and also cursor movements based on mouse clicks or any movement of cursor basically when not typing characters. And then this is the cursor, not the mouse. You can also show the mouse. Record and play a selection of text, and record and play scrolling even when cursor is not moved. Usually cursor moving around is one way to cause scrolling by going up and down of the editor view. So using the mouse, right? So record and play multiple cursor movements, record and play mouse movements, support pause while recording, support pause while playing, right? And then media player like interface while playing, the options to play and resume, to play and pause, show time duration while playing, right? So start time, current time, end time, all based on duration playing. Support seeking forward to a random position, support seeking backward, support forwarding 2x, like playing in 2x, forwarding in 2x, going backward in 2x, and whatnot. Support recording audio while recording user typing. Record it in synchronous. Download the audio content while recording, while downloading recording. So download that to support playing audio while playing user typing, right? Upload and process audio content too while playing recording. Support embedding the player in websites like Twitter, LinkedIn, and on any website with ease. For example, personal blogs, articles, and all, right? So how do you embed that and all? For example, you can embed a YouTube recording, you can embed a ASCII cinema recording, right? So the thing is, the other examples would be, for example, you can actually record, for example, browser, right? So there is an example for this real world. It's called Open Replay, I think. Um, Open Replay actually helps you record and replay sessions. So you can see over here, understand what went wrong, uncover issues and frustrations, summary AI. So there's a replay. You can actually play and pause this. So try the cloud self-host. Can you see a demo? Product session replay and then product analyst. Then okay, let's just click this. Can we see a demo? Cloud, okay, get started for free. I'm not able to find a demo, but basically this helps with stuff like recording what happens in a browser and being able to understand what happened in the developer tools and all, recording the developer tools, all the tools developer need to get the root cause. So reproduce bugs exactly as they occurred and capture errors, logs, network payloads, and everything, right? Capture everything. And then co-browsing, so be able to share your browser, right, without doing a Zoom screen record or screen share and then allow others to edit and move their mouse. Just share your browser, no Zoom, nothing, no other software, only an extension, right? View live sessions, co-browse with customers, shorten your time to resolution and all that. So those kind of stuff over here. So you can actually do recording and streaming over here on your browser and any kind of app. For example, you can do recording and streaming for say any application like this. One example would be in Visual Studio Code. It has an extension for actually doing a code walkthrough. So let me see if I can find it out. Visual Studio Code, code walkthrough um, extension, right? I think this is the one, Kotur, that allows you to produce interactive guidelines, assessments, and tutorials. So I'm guessing it's this one. So you can actually see, you can actually do a tour of the code. For example, I'll just restart this, and here you can see it says intro and then code to recording started, start creating steps and all. So you can click and put a comment and whatnot, an annotation, right? Start a discussion, and then finally you're adding the step, right? Finally, so there are more steps that you can add, and this gets recorded into a very small file. That's the best part, because screen recordings take a lot of so it was saved now, as you can see. There's a JSON, and I mean, it's saved as a JSON, I think, and then you can actually see how you can play the next step, go back and forward and all. So the best part about these kind of custom recording, other than video recording or audio recording, is that you're customizing, and you have a customized recording from a software that you built, which is not taking the full recording using a video, for example, screen recorder or whatever, or using a camera to record your screen, but instead using some custom software to record just the thing which is aware of the software that you're using, for example, a text editor or a browser. And the size of such recordings are pretty small compared to something like a video recording. And usually such recordings you can easily scale it up and down, because what it's recording is very specific, and it's not you know it's not like, for example, going to look at the size of the font you have. In a video recording, you have to look at it, is it what is the resolution of the recording, right? And then accordingly scale it up and down. In a ASCII cinema, you actually record the text content and the text font and whatnot, right? So once you do that, you know the text content, like if it's hello world, and what is the font and what is the color, and that's all. You can now print, like, play that in how much or big size you want and how much or small size you want. You can easily scale it. If it's a video recording, it depends on the resolution in which you recorded, and then accordingly you can play on that only, right? That's the maximum resolution you can play it on. So the size of the files of such recordings are small usually, unless there is also an embedded video and audio, but still it is way less compared to only audio and video recording, and not application specific recording. So these are some examples from which you can take inspiration from, and I'll probably put these over here in the README over here. One more, let me actually put this up. Inspiration. So I'll just say openreplay.com is one of the inspirations. Recording and playing, browser usage, browser sessions, also streaming, right? So this is one example. So this is one example, and then next one is, there is also this um, there's also this thing called Teammate. Before that, I'll just put this. I'll just say this. I'll just put it in the next line and say this also. This is a fork, is it? And this is a fork. This is extra links and extension in Visual Studio Code to do code walkthroughs and record it and play it. So I'm just gonna have to do this. Future ideas, I can just say extension in any software to do recording, playing, streaming of the usage of the software. Example softwares where usage can be tracked, recorded, played, streamed, etc. Browser, text editor, terminal, right? Extension or so, right? Can also create separate tool or software to do the recording. Examples: Visual Studio Code extension for recording, playing, streaming, the text editor usage, and then I can just say Vim extensions, right? I can just say Emacs extensions, any code editor extensions or plugins for recording, Chrome, I'll just say Chrome extensions, and say Firefox extensions, and then you can say any browser extensions, right? And then you can say any software extensions or plugins. Right, so I think this is an important thing. This is a great idea, at least I believe so. Has its own pros and cons. I mean, video recordings are very, very general and very flexible. That is true, but they can be pretty big, and streaming can be pretty complex and whatnot. And you know, you need to understand the video basics also and the resolution, scaling it up and down, and all that. But if you do a custom recording, basically, um, custom recording in any software, uh, this can be called as custom recording, right? So, of the software, instead of using video recording, screen recording tools. So, yeah, I mean, ASCII Cinema was one example. There's also Teammate, you can actually use teammate.io. This is actually instant terminal sharing. Instant terminal sharing. right? So these are some inspirations. Uh, so here I should probably put the future ideas at the end because this is based on um, cool. So let me actually just commit this update readme regarding future ideas and inspiration. Okay, and that's it. Cool. So yeah, I just wanted to put this up, and I just wanted to talk about such interesting ideas where you can actually create a project to do this crazy thing. It's a nice experiment. It's a nice hacking experiment. So I would highly recommend you to try out this project if you're interested and want to try out something for your, you know, some holiday project or a weekend project, right? So that's all I had for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.